Welcome everyone to Frontrunners Innovate, where we connect you to global leaders who are all innovating and creating positive change in the world. Today's guest is His Excellency Nawab Syed Algazi of Hyderabad, India. His Excellency is of royal and noble heritage with an extensive lineage of notable leaders that no doubt have set him up for his own leadership journey. Today, we'll learn about that journey from young entrepreneur to military and athletic prowess that he has, and on to a rich life as a philanthropist, a diplomat, and a champion for empowerment. I am your host, Mary Curiga, global business developer and CEO of Frontrunners Development, where we believe that if you connect business, you can change the world. And I am just pleased, really pleased to welcome His Excellency Nawab Syed Algazi. So welcome, sir. It is a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. So you are quite the individual with an incredible background that goes way deep into your teenagehood. And we want to start there. So if you'll tell us a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey. I mean, you started when you were about 16 years old. And I'm just curious about where you got the support and the mentorship for that. I mean, who starts at 16 thinking that they can just build, a business? So tell me a little bit about that.
First of all, good morning to everyone in US, good evening in India, Dubai, and hello to all my Riverlanders, friends, partners, and collaborators all across the globe. I'm Syed Algazi, the Special Presidential Envoy to India and SAARC countries, Honorary Consul of the Republic of Riverland in India, and Chairperson of N.F.Constructions in India and Dubai, Chairman of the Royal Family Office of Hyderabad, India, and also the founder of Brave Heart Martyrs Foundation. First of all, respected Lady Mary, let me thank you, your wonderful and talented team of, Frontrunners Innovative from the depth of my heart, for having me amongst the wonderful guests in your very prestigious interview and video podcast. And, now coming to your very interesting question, for any young, boy of 16 who decides to take, a long unknown journey, of entrepreneurship and startup 37 years back, must have been very difficult and unreal, and hence one needed some sort of support and mentorship. And I was lucky enough to have an outstanding, able and professional, hardworking mother who happens to be a barrister and a journalist during that time. Seeing her meet the then prime ministers, chief ministers, governors, top cricketers and film stars of early 70s, and see her hard work day in and out, left a lasting impression, on me as a kid. And she's the reason I'm sitting in front of thousands of viewers and a very popular international host like you. And I thank my mother for this, and thanks for having me as a humble guest, my lady Mary.
Well, it's good because we were just past Mother's Day. So you just gave a tribute to your mother. That was wonderful. I have to say, though, since your debut in the business world, you've really been consistent about giving back to communities, especially where you could give employment to young boys and help the economics of the community out. So where did that come from? I mean, you grew up around a lot of influential and, celebrity types of individuals. Where did the giving back piece come from for you?
Actually, I must say I matured before time, due to some personal and emotional issues within my family, and I was just 5 years old. And also because I have seen less privileged kids, and youngsters around me who were spreading great smiles, even for the smallest happiness they possessed. And then I was getting everything under the roof with a golden spoon in my mouth. But still, I was very unhappy and restless. And this was the time, actually, I decided that, I have to do something on my own instead of getting a royal treatment at home, Hence, I developed a germ, you can say, in my mind while I was one day practicing for a sport, I loved at a nearby ground, near to my place. And, this was the moment when I came back home and asked my respected mother, Barrister Sadika Sultana ma'am, I call her ma'am, that I want 500 Indian bucks. That was equivalent to $67.40, you can say, to start a business on May 25th, if I remember, 1986. Was absolutely. If I
You
remember.
remember the
And I
days?
used to go, yes, yes. And and I used to go for my practice sessions in the best cars possible during that time, and used to see my teammates walking down kilometers, miles for hours to reach the same ground, and we all used to play together. Hence I took most of them in my strides and asked them to join my small business with whatever capacity they possessed, and whatever I could afford to offer them, which was more than they expected. I think 37 years back. That's how it all began with the love, care, and which was more than happiness. Until today, I tell you, we all are great friends and meet very often in matches, marriages, and other events. And I'm happy that each one of them have their own identity of their own today, and very happy in their lives with the family. And God bless them all. I really love them all. Really love them all. I must say, Lady Mary.
Wow, it's amazing. So I kind of want to switch gears and get to the point where you're a little bit older now and you're in the army. You have a background as a cadet from Australia and the military school there in Bangalore, and it's one of the top 5 military schools in India. What was your experience at the school, and how do you think it sort of helped shape who you are today? A lot of people would credit military school with their leadership abilities. I wonder what you think.
Tell you very frankly, my Lady Mary, that was the best time of my life. While growing up in a boarding school in Bangalore, city of India. It was in 1979. I'm the 1979 batch of that time, and this was the time I learned the most important aspect of my life. I tell you very frankly, that was discipline. Humbleness,
Yeah.
and oneness, teamwork. And respect, unity, and kindness and dignity. That was very important for me at that age, particular, being coming from that whatever the background I was from, and the roots of my military school background were rock solid, and I still practice that in my daily life still today. I had understood long back that humanity is above any religion, caste, or creed, which is being divided in today's time in the whole world for very small and silly things like ego, power, and selfish motives, for worldly things. What I feel even today, after nearly 43 years of my military schooling, all my best batmates, seniors and juniors, who in today's time are Indian Armed Forces generals, lieutenant generals, and major generals, colonels, military secretary to the president of India, who is great fights, respective fields, and we all organize, old boys of India, association gala dinner every year, to celebrate togetherness. One of the very, very precious moments of my life, I must say. And I remember when I was invited to my alma mater, that is military school, after 30 years as the chief guest to address, more than I think 430 cadets, if I remember, principals, administration, and staff, and in the same assembly. What was fantastic was the same assembly hall where I used to be one of the young little cadets. That was some achievement, I must say, being in my alma mater. I can never forget.
That's interesting. And it's interesting that you've carried forward with a lot of what you've learned from there. And I really think that most people who have that experience in military life, because I'm married to one and I have a son that also was in the military. And so I think that you just never shake that. It gets into your soul, and you appreciate those people who serve, and it's really part of who you are from there forward, I think aside from clearly the successful entrepreneurship part of your journey and the military background, you are quite the accomplished athlete as well. So I have to wonder what's shaping all this success that's going on with you, but there's this ambition and drive. But can you tell us a bit about your background as a state cricketer? State level cricketer.
That's another of my, hidden talent, you must say, if I boost myself. But yep, that's another beautiful chapter of my life. Which began professionally in 1980, Lady Mary, till 2009. I remember the time I gave up professional cricket, but still I play our team's annual day matches, and then during my playing days, I rubbed shoulders and shared a dressing room and pavilion, stage, and tough ground where we play the cricket, tough ground.
Mhm.
With the likes of legendary cricketers like Little Masters, Sunil Gavaskar, the names which I'll be taking, I think you will find out about them when you search on them, because being in US, you won't be knowing about cricket much.
Uh-huh.
I believe maybe.
Yeah.
So like Sunil Gavaskar, and World Cup winning captain, 1983 World Cup winning captain, Mr. Kapil Dev, and Mohinder Amarnath, Ashad Ayub, and Venkatpati Raju, and Master Blaster, today's little master, of India, Sachin Tendulkar, and VVS Lakshman, who played under my captaincy. I was the captain, and Shiblal Yadav, Muhammad Azharuddin, ex-captain of India, Azimuddin, Noel David, and many others who represented India, at Test, One Day, and Ranji Trophy players for decades. And I remember another year, I think in the year 1991, I was one of the organizing committee members, to conduct a charity cricket match, for the flood relief fund for my state. That was Andhra Pradesh. Right now, it's Telangana. And many people, it was the first and the last time, I think, two legends of the game, Sunil Gavaskar and Sachin Tendulkar, played together on one ground at a ground called Lal Bahadur Shastri in my city, Hyderabad. And it's a historical place, in Hyderabad. And as an opening batsman who scored, in 27 centuries, we call centuries, 100 is called centuries in cricket. If you want, so I'm coming up with something very special, which I will unveil during the course of our interview, I believe. And it has that was another chapter which has taught me a lot of things. Teammate, respect teammates, opposition mainly. It's not only about winning; it's about respecting your opponents. Win and lose, it's a part of any life, any game, any sports, right? So that was the wonderful thing I still enjoy, and I play it for fitness, but of course not professional.
In a way that's kind of like the military, that also is part of it. It becomes a family when you're in something like that, when you get as part of a team. I like that too. So along the way in this entrepreneurship path that you've been on, because we're kind of leading into the business side of you, there was a construction business that you started, and I think it's interesting that in your lineage there was a great grandfather, I believe, that was very prolific in building extravagant palaces and monuments and what have you. And so one has to wonder if that was just in the bloodline for you, and just, genetically you were predisposed to move into it. But of all the businesses that you've been involved with, that one has stuck and has stayed with you, and you continue to build with that. So what can you tell us about the projects that you're doing with the construction business, and what you aim to do with the business in the future?
I must say, I have wonderfully gone back to my details well. I'm finding, because not everybody can know about all these things, And anyway, thank you for asking me this question. And to be, to be honest, not really, as I'm the only one in my family who started a construction business way back in 1991. Yeah, and before that, in 18th and 19th centuries, my great grandfathers built palaces, and monuments, museums, hospitals, tombs for their own self or for their daughters, and wife, but not for commercial purpose, as I do, today. I'm not an architect, not an engineer, tell you very frankly. But the bedtime stories I used to, hear from my grandmother, about the palaces and monuments her grandfathers and great grandfathers built, had great stories, history, and behind the walls, mystery, I must say, and extravagant gala, lavish events thrown by my great grandfather, which was attended, that time by the great royals of India and the British, like Lord Curzon and Duchess of Battenberg, and who had been a guest of my great grandfather. His name was Nawab Fakhr ul Mulk in Hyderabad. Mention them to her, it's a wonderful, some vintage district, I'll tell you. Mention her to her mother, Queen Victoria, at that time. And that, I think, durable monarchy, I think, expressed, a wish to see them my great grandfather. But specifically, they should come as a Ethonians, it was called, and not as Indians. And then the boys were taken, to Windsor Castle and instructed, to bow, and not to speak a word in front of Queen Victoria. And I have heard the Queen appeared, and erect and stout, learning, on the arms of two Indian servants in gold livery, and the boys, my great grandfathers, bowed, 5 words rolled out of the, royal tongue. हम भी हिंदुस्तानी बोलता है. That means I also speak Hindi. Hindustani means Indian, the language. And we also speak Hindustani, she said. And anyway, the boys, my great grandfathers, 3 great grandfathers, bowed again, and she retired, that time. And when shortly after that, 2 scholars, were expelled from Eton College those days, I think. The Queen, I think, herself, arranged, my grandfather, Rawa Fakhrul Bahadur, 3 sons, should be taken in as a boarders, which was a rare case those days. And they brought the number of, Indian students at Eton, to 5. And the 2 earlier ones being we have a Maharaja of Kuch Birar, it was called, and Nawab Waliuddaulah, son of Bikharul Umrah. The people who know, they will understand this, the names I'm talking about them, And, on the occasion of Victoria Jubilee, I've heard a pageant was held at Eton, and photograph of, one of the scenes shows the 5 Indian boys, in Indian national dress, flanked by schoolmates and consumed as heralds representing England, Scotland, and Ireland and Wales. All the stories fascinated me to a different world together and pushed my interest towards construction. And hence started my journey, of dreams, which spread to more than, with God's grace, 14 countries and counting. Touchwood, and I have many great projects up my street. Like a $1 million honorary consulate, being constructed in Hyderabad, India, my city. While we speak, I always say, there is no shortcut to success actually, and it's all sheer hard work. I believe particularly in that dedication. We have determination and madness, and experience has no substitute. Lady Mary, and really, I'm looking forward to collaborate with top, hotel brands to convert our 175 years old, with the 150 rooms Royal Heritage Palace we have in Hyderabad city, into a 5 or 7-star palace. And I would love to hear from the hotel industry, brands, or to collaborate, and partner with us for this vintage project. And I'm very excited about that palace. Converting my great grandfathers, so that they have their name etched in history, further down the line for the younger generation. That would be great if I'm able to do it. If I'm successful, but I will try my level best.
How could you not be successful? Come on. I mean, look at what you've already done. That's great. Oh my goodness. Well, and speaking of success, what I love, I think, out of all the stories that I've heard about you, is the war widows, the information about the war widows, and that I appreciate personally if you would kind of share a little bit of that story of Braveheart Martyrs Foundation, because as we know, there's no civilian in India who's done more for patriotic and honoring the martyrs in your country, Dubai, US, anywhere in the past 24 years, other than you. And, you're the one that they turn to when, who else would they turn to look at for patriotism and honoring martyr war heroes, especially the widows, the families, and that sort of thing. You're just kind of the one-man army for that. And what we look at as a sort of a role model for how to treat the families that are left behind, that's near and dear to my heart. Like I said, I'm married to Marine Corps captain, retired, and also have a son that right out of high school went over to serve in the Marine Corps and ended up spending 17 years in service. And I live between 2 military bases, and so I'm in the midst of it all the time. I appreciate and understand and honor those people who've lost family members And so I can't tell you how much that touches my heart personally, and I know a lot of the viewers here feel the same way. Tell us a little bit about what drove you to start this, and this has been long standing for you. This is a heart project, isn't it?
Then first of all, let me salute you and to have background of military yourself. I'm very happy and I'm very glad about this part that you belong to army, captain's wife, and you see, Lady Mary. Usually, we eat food for living, and health, you can say, and body's energy or purpose, energy's purpose. But BMF, that is a short form of Brave Heart Martyrs Foundation, is food for my soul, you know, and I feel so happy and contented when I
Yeah.
do something for the armed forces families, or I must say chosen by God, and to do and to little I think bit under my limitations as a responsible citizen of our motherland. Basically, it all started during a war with our neighbors in 1999. Yes, 1999 when I saw young men in pool of blood and coming wrapped in tricolors flags, and this was really disturbing. This was, and I took a oath and to serve martyrs families, and very very fortunate that we are able to honor and help thousands of them with whatever we can and could. And we have been honoring all over India. We did it in New Jersey also in 2017 at one of the channels. That was a great moment for me. We honored 10 great war heroes, martyr war heroes, and we started honoring the mothers of the heroes. They are the sufferers. Yeah, they are the sufferers. The boys have gone, right? They did their duty for the country, and they did not die for worldly things, other things. They died for their respect of their country. Everybody has their heroes. You have your heroes in US. You have every country has its own heroes, and we should respect them. And whenever you see a armed forces, army person, you should smile at them, and if possible, salute. You're not going to lose anything. I tell you, Lady Mary, But I don't know why today's time people are so busy and they don't value. I really don't understand. But as far as I'm concerned, I sleep like a baby. When I do something for martyrs families, I am telling you very, very, very truthful. It gives me a lot of pleasure to my heart. Nothing is more pleasure than serving armed forces. And anywhere I hear about armed forces, I get very emotional and excited to do something, whatever good. See, I'm not a government, I'm not a government or a prime minister or something to do greater things. But in my small way, what I've learned from my elders, my mother, my parents, grannies, I try to incorporate those things in my life and do whatever is possible. I can't say bigger things, but I keep on doing since 24 years. I'll continue to do till I'm alive. That's my respect for the armed forces of any country, please. Not only India, any country. You said it to them.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I could tell. There's definitely some passion there for that to continue doing that for so long, and that's just there. And kind of talk a little bit about your diplomatic work that you're doing now, because you've in the last year you've you've had an appointment or two, and one of those is with a new country in the making, and that's Liberland, and you represent Liberland, India. So what are the duties that you have in that regard, and are they developing now, and what kinds of plans are you having along with your diplomatic service going forward with Liberland? So share a little bit, if you will, about that.
You see, first of all, not it's a nine-year-old country. Not many people will be doing, but I should inform as a consul. Republic of Liberland, is a sovereign state in Southeast Europe. Surrounded by other 11 Balkan countries in Europe, and we have more than 105 representative offices, embassies, and consulates across the globe. Includes UK, and in Washington DC, USA we have India, and we have in UAE with more than 7.65,000 citizenship requests from all over across the globe, and another the country is 7 square miles, so we can't accommodate so many people. The demand of citizenship, But anyway, we have a business incubator, has been established, for foreign investors in a place called Ark Libelan village in a place called Apatin. It's in Serbia, the neighbor,
Yeah.
just 5 kilometers
Yeah.
from Libelan, and as well in the Republic of Libelan. And Republic of Libelan will also be the first European, country to build in a virtual world by the world-renowned, London-based architect firm, Zara Hadid, architects, who have been working on a vision for a virtual city. And my responsibilities as the special presidential envoy to India and SAARC countries, as well as American Council of India, is to promote bilateral trade and business, can say investments, arts, culture, films, sports, youth, tourism is there, and diplomatic relations for relationships for Republic of Libeland with more than 200 countries. I know people discourage newer things, don't want to accept the new things. But see, people forget that they were also a child, they were also a young country when they started, right? And see what after lots of struggle, where they are now, right? They are in peak. So I also have to, as a responsibility, look after the liberal aid foundations, humanitarian, goals in Africa, Haiti, and many other. We try to do our best, and India and UAE, and other parts of the world, and also, initiating, contracts with leaders and stakeholders in India, and for, negotiating and establishing, accredited mutual beneficial diplomatic relations, and also, and promoting liberal investment interests and goals in the Republic of India, where I am appointed, advising the liberal and council, cabinet, sorry, on humanitarian aid for programs in India, and developing, mobilizing supportive network and for liberal and nationally, and initiating relevant, partnerships and collaboration with stakeholders. And I am constructing a multi-million-dollar state-of-the-art consulate for Republic of Libeland in Hyderabad, India, which is my city, country, for which all the logistics, are being invested and looked after by my company, N.F.Constructions, as you know, with its 5-story, construction work, with a groundbreaking ceremony we started in 2023 with 20,000 square foot area, for many international businesses and incubators for Europe, UAE, Philippines, UK, and USA, and to connect with Liberland. This will be a significant development, I think, for the Liberland, India diplomatic and strategic relationship and partnerships, and it will also create jobs related to other things looking after. That is my responsibility as of now. It may increase, it may decrease as per my performance, frankly. But I'm doing my best because this was I took it as a challenge. Very simple.
Yes.
In my life, whatever little things I done, I took it as a challenge. New country, start from the struggle, goes to those days of 16 years, struggling for small things. So that gives me a kick, to do better and do justice to my role as a whatever I've been appointed.
Where is the facility that you're building again? Where are you building the
It's in
facility?
Hyderabad.
Okay, that's what I thought, that I wasn't sure. Okay,
In Hyderabad city.
that's gonna be something, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
That'll be special. Okay,
yeah.
Very good. So I think that kind of leads us to the type of impact that you're creating now in India, Liberland, and all around Dubai and different places that you're touching. So what are you working on that you can talk about as far as big projects coming forth for the rest of this year and early 2025? What type of people might you also appreciate meeting that will help you in getting those things done? Not that I don't think you could do it by yourself, because clearly you're very successful and very driven about all these things. But I do believe that it takes a village of people to get things moving. And, I wrap myself around the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And to me, you're not going to get any of the 16 done if you don't get number 17 right. And that one is partnerships for all the rest of the goals. On, and what type of people might you need to help you get there?
Well, actually, Lady Mary, I would like to take this opportunity, for a few minutes, if we can,
Sure.
please. Before I get back to 2004 or 2024 or 2025, as this is very much relevant, as far uh, my UAE business and projects are concerned.
Yeah.
I remember, my journey of UAE began in 2004 and 5 December, if I exactly remember, as an investor. I started as an investor there. As I planned to embark, on an entrepreneurship endeavor, there was this huge, sad news, on 4th of January, around 2006. I think that His Highness, Maktoum bin Rashid Al Maktoum died, and it was a real shock for Arab world as well as me personally. As I was about to board Emirates Airlines in few days, time, and but everyone, in Dubai, suggested to me it's not the right time, to fly to Dubai or for business and for whatever thing you down, that they asked me to let the thing settle down, in Dubai. But as the saying goes, the show must go on. And what a roller coaster rider it has been, under the visionary umbrella of, His Highness Sheikh Maktoum bin Rashid Al Maktoum, And actually, when he succeeded his brother at that time, 2006, His Highness Maktoum bin Rashid Al Maktoum, on in February, would remember the date, maybe 10th or 11th, 2006, as a ruler of Dubai. And I landed in Dubai with my wife and 6-year-old son, on exact date I remember, it was memorable for me, 13th September 2006. And I began hunting for properties as an investor. And there was only, Burj Al Arab in Dubai at that time as main attraction. And I literally, saw the Dubai develop in front of my eyes, reach great heights, step by step, and facing all the challenges, adversaries, with the flying colors. And they should be respected for what they have achieved in today's world, And, Palm Jumeirah, you must have heard if you have been heard in Dubai, which is seen from the moon. Okay, this Palm Jumeirah Island, it is called, and started getting, delivered from 2006. And Burj Khalifa, at least you must be knowing, or many people will be knowing, Burj Khalifa in Dubai had just started building, in 2004 at that time. And I went to check, and found as an investor, I saw a studio, for you say 900,000 dirhams. That's UAE currency, right? I even went to MR. These are big developers, MR, Jamac Properties, ETA Star, and Waxen Real Estate, Diamond Investment, LLC, and brought many pieces of, properties as an investor myself. And from them, the journey still continues. Now, not only limited to, UAE, but the country's prime minister is uplifting the whole world strongly, I think, to achieve, greater heights on earth. And not to forget the millions of expats, whose lives, changed since the time UAE welcomed, each one of them with their open hearts and kindness. And His Highness Sheikh Hamdan, bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum is the crown prince of Dubai, popularly known as Faza. His pet name, with love they call him Faza, which means the one who helps, and he was appointed on 1st February 2008. I was there, what a progress and development in his personality as a sharp, young man following in his father's footsteps, And I think I would like to thank, for the respected rulers of Dubai, because I have a base in Dubai. I have to thank them for, His Highness, Sheikh Maktoum bin Rashid Al Maktoum, for giving us wings, to fly under his visionary guidance, I must say. And special thanks to our dearest Faza, the Crown Prince, of Dubai, and Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed Rashid Al Maktoum for, checking on my details, one time on LinkedIn, and few messages exchanged and on WhatsApp, to inquire about my work with some encouraging and welcoming words and points. I remember that was very nice of him to talk to a commoner, as I said, we are commoners. And coming back to today's time and day, with expertise of international, my international Dubai team and Indian team, we will be progressing, together in pharmaceuticals and I think tourism and then we have real estate also, startups, healthcare, tea business, films, and other important sectors in UAE, Africa, India, Europe, United States, and Schengen countries. Around now there are 40 countries in Schengen countries. I think they have added another two, if I remember, which will benefit thousands of citizens. From different parts of this world to come, and join us, collaborate, and partner with us, and enjoy the benefits. The most, what I say, the fascinating country, UAE is, offering, for millions to their the lives and their dreams. And we are coming up with a great event. It's the latest one. I would like to tell you, we are coming up with a great event in Dubai on 29th May 2024, this month,
Uh-huh.
at a hotel called Crown Plaza Hotel, Jumeirah, at Jumeirah, where we'll be launching some very exciting projects, Lady Mary. Few details I'll give you now only. Some of we are launching at that day, but I'll give you now. A franchising module. Okay, offices and branches, of our 33-year-old brand N.F.Construction, that is in 27 countries. We are going to have many will be added in the coming days and months. We are also, launching a thing called Royalty with the Royals Forum. Okay, to gather all the royal families, from all across the globe under one umbrella, to support entrepreneurs and startups, royal family offices across the globe, and well-settled business houses, and high net worth individuals also are there, including this very exclusive by invitation only program, and even this will be organized, at top palaces and hotel palaces. I should inform you of different countries, and starting, and with my Hyderabad, India, as we have our own families, royal and heritage palaces. We are also coming up, with a palatial and grand project called Iram Manzil T Royal. I repeat again, Iram Manzil T Royal. Iram Manzil is the name of my great grandfather's palace present
Yes.
in Hyderabad.
Yeah.
So I took that liberty of being his family called Iram Manzil T Royal, and it's a G plus 6 floors, royal abode, having 200 and 400 SFT of grand spacious each floor, and also a few triple high duplex, like 30 feet high duplex of 5,000, 6,000 each area with, private lift, automatic gates, smart home, so many things, And,
Wow.
my most personal and important project of my life, which will be launched in India on the same day, 29, is the incorporation of an honor named, in my respected mother, barrister Sadiq Sultana.
Yeah.
Calling the Legend Award for a brilliant 50 years of journalism and law. And I'm very lucky, to have her in my life, and I probably stay with her. She doesn't stay with us. We stay with her and my family, And I want to take this opportunity while we are having an interview through broadcast. I would like to to invite you and your team for our diplomat and business event. Same happening. Remember the dates, 29th May 2024 in Dubai.
I got the date. Yeah. We'll see.
And I would love to meet and connect with people, who wants to collaborate. To your last question, I'm just giving this
Yeah.
point. Want to have this happening, to collaborate and partner with us in UAE, Europe, Africa, other countries, they are most welcome to contact me or my team, for which I will ask my team to send you all the links and details, and moreover, you can get them directly connected to me or my team if you don't mind. I would humbly, like to offer what I say, you some wonderful business proposal to you if you don't mind. So that you join me. Yes, so that you join me, in the entrepreneurship journey with us. I've always, believed that collaborations, partnerships,
Yes.
and
Yes.
kindness, and should not be in words alone. Just talking is not enough. I always believe, that it should be
Mhm.
needs to. And hence it's always better, to try and fail for anything than not trying at all, And in the end, I would like to thank my Dubai team, and senior team members, especially Miss Pinky and Mr. Shabir, and all others for their kind and understanding support to me, and the consulate, the N.F.Constructions, the Royal Family Office. So many things. I'm thankful to so many people. I can't thank enough. to each and every one, And you can think if you want, you can, I'll ask my team or Miss Pinky to send you details. Have a look at that. If you want to collaborate, if you want to join me in any of our journey together, it will be an honor for me, Lady Mary. As I know, you are a wonderful, talented, respected lady, and you're doing wonderful job. And
Well, thank you.
I would love to, my consulate and my Royal Family Office.
Oh, well, thank you. You're too kind.
would love to have you.
But yes, and by the way, you have a wonderful team, and Miss Pinky does a fabulous job. So you do well by having surrounded yourself with good people.
Could not agree more.
Yeah.
Sure. Very true. Very
You
true.
select well. No,
So you
this
can
is terrific, and I want to end this by saying, oh, my goodness, nobody would expect you to end this interview with such a kind offering to myself and other people that I surround myself with in my team. But we definitely will be talking about that for sure. But I want to say thank you, but I want you to stay on for a second because we're going to talk about that in a minute. You stay on, and I want to say goodbye to everybody else. And so if you're getting this in any of the places that you get your podcast to everyone, then go to www.frontrunnersinnovate.com because we want you to see it on our site, because we're going to include some extra information provided by Ms. Pinky on His Excellency and ways that you can connect, and hope that you will, or you can connect through me, which is wonderful. I'll be happy to make an introduction. This is what I do. So thank you very much. And until next time, happy Brett Run. Bye.
pleasure.